30 teams walked into this competition floor at Navy Pier, but only 3 will stand on the podium and earn their spot to the CrossFit Games in Carson, California. CrossFit Kilo, Quad City CrossFit, and CrossFit 515 have clearly separated themselves from the rest of the field. The only question remains, though, is who's going to finish 1, 2, and 3.
I think the coolest thing about this particular event is it includes everybody. And, you know, where you could kind of have your specialists at certain points, right here it's like, all right, do you guys rope climb in your training? And do you do a lot of cleans? And do you do heavy cleans? Because this is what it is all right here. So we've seen a lot of the earlier heats where people have had a lot of failed reps due to the weight. Haven't seen too much of an issue with the rope climb. It's not too high, but I'm really glad that they actually included that into the regionals this year. I hate seeing it in the games only, and no one else gets to play. Finally, we get to throw those kind of things at everyone, and you know what? It's going to be a battle for those top 3 for sure.
Well, here's what these top 10 teams need to do. They have all 6 members going in conga line style. The first male and female will do 3 rounds of 2 15-foot rope climbs and 2 full cleans at a weight of 135 and 225. Then the next set, or next pair, will do 3 rounds of 2 rope climbs and 3, following with the final 2 of 2 rope climbs and 4. So each pair, we're going to add 1 more clean. Now, there is a little bit of strategy involved here still. I realize it's a conga line, but specifically speaking to the team that we had in the South Central, CrossFit Dallas Central, our best athlete, we didn't put 4th because he could only go touch and go, but we did put him 3rd because he could go unbroken. So there's a little bit of element of gaming and strategy still here in this final event.
You're going to see the vast majority of the athletes doing their cleans dropping after every single one. They're going to be broken. If you could have your initial athletes going touch and go, that's going to save you some time. So I think that that's a good move if you can do that. However, you really have to be careful that you stop at the top so that your judge gives you that rep. I've seen it countless times where they come up all the way and go right back into their next one, and it's a no rep automatically. It's not showing the control.
And right off the bat, it is CrossFit St. Paul in lane 10 that has taken the lead. We realize we have a lot of rounds, a lot of reps still to go. Your top 3 teams coming into this, CrossFit Kilo, Quad City CrossFit, and CrossFit 515 are in your middle lanes. But it's St. Paul, CrossFit Kilo, and 515 all neck and neck for this first round.
Now again, all these athletes have had, just like the individuals, an onslaught of just heavy weight, you know, working their back over the last 2 days, working the midsection here earlier today. That 225 for these men gets heavy quickly. So you're seeing a lot of bad form right there. Elbows dropping, knees collapsing, backs rounding, and that's not what you want to have happen, especially at this point. It really hurts when that starts to go down like that.
CrossFit St. Paul is still ahead, but his CrossFit Kilo, his cleans are very quick. Once these men finish these 2 squat cleans, they will have to sprint across the field, and the next person up cannot start until they hit that starting pad. So when you finish, you can't just loaf it over there. It matters. And there you have a neck-and-neck race right now. CrossFit Kilo and CrossFit St. Paul. They're followed closely by 515 and Quad City CrossFit.
Right there, now we start the ladies with their rope climbs. And that's CrossFit Kilo right there. Again, CrossFit Kilo is a very strong, very aggressive, fierce group of people. They definitely, you know, they've been to the show before. They want to make it again. They're sitting in the first spot right now, but you know that CrossFit 515 and Quad City are hot on their tails.
Your 2 women still in the lead is CrossFit St. Paul, but just behind them, CrossFit Kilo. The rest of the field is slowly starting to join them, but it's these 2 teams right now are separating themselves from the rest of the pack.
What I think is interesting this year, the fact they brought the rope climb in, the only standard is, 1, you have to touch that top bar. So when the women come up to the top, they're reaching for that top bar up there, and then 2 feet have to hit the ground to start their next rope climb. There is no standard about how you come down. So you're going to see a variance of speed, how much control or lack of control as they come down. Again, don't want to fry your hands on the way down, but speed is of the essence. You're still going to have to pick up some heavy weight with those hands, so you don't want to burn them out.
And CrossFit Kilo alongside CrossFit St. Paul are now neck and neck back to their second round they are doing 2 rope climbs and 2 squat cleans. Most of the women are now on the bar or on the rope for this second set. Once they complete 3 rounds of this, we'll move back to the male, where they'll do 2 rounds with rope climbs and 3 squat cleans.
Something I've seen a lot of the women do, see if she does it here, the athlete from CrossFit Kilo, she's actually doing a really good job. She's locking down on the rope with her feet, using her hands just to stand herself up. And also when she goes to bring her legs up, her arms are straight. That's saving a lot of energy on her arms. Some of the less experienced athletes, they bend their arms and actually holding themselves with a bent arm. It's wasting a whole lot of energy.
You see these 2 movements, a rope climb coupled with a squat clean, are actually 2 interesting components to put together, and it'll sneak up on you at the end there.
If you incorrectly use, go ahead.
And out of nowhere, CrossFit Omaha finishes their second round. They're followed by CrossFit Quad City. So Justin, we thought Kilo and St. Paul were taking the lead. Omaha and Quad City CrossFit pull ahead. It's now the men's turn.
Man, it is this event right here, things are changing so fast, it's really hard to see what's happening with all the athletes because there's so much movement. But right there is Armand McCormick, again, has been an individual athlete at the games, has been to the games on the team, and he's sitting in first place with his team. He wants to keep him there. He's a very aggressive, he got a no rep. He didn't stand up all the way, and that's something that we're starting to see with athletes that kind of get ahead of themselves a little bit. That's a lot of energy that's wasted you don't want to do on the cleans.
Your top 3 teams now, CrossFit Kilo, Quad City CrossFit, and CrossFit Omaha. Your standings so far, what we're looking at, CrossFit Kilo is in first with 16 points, followed by Quad City CrossFit with 20, and right behind them is CrossFit 515 at 21. Omaha is in fourth, but they're well out of the way right now with 45 points. But it's all about pride and it's all about competition. Omaha wants to finish this competition off strong.
Of course, the goal of this is to get to the games, without a doubt. But because these are all individually, I mean, like we said before, there's been no cut. So every single event is important in itself. Everyone wants to go out on top. And you know what? If you're not going to make it to the games, at least put a nice stamp on the weekend and, have a nice showing here. So, Omaha is going to be pushing the limit as much as they can. They want to go out at least with a nice high five with everyone, knowing that they put a good showing and, showed everyone who they were.
But a very unique twist here is that with having all members a part of this workout, every member must be strong. They have to be proficient in a very skill-oriented movement like a rope climb, yet still strong to support that load for the cleans.
And that's way different than what we usually do on the 2-person, where you can put your specialists, if they're really good at moving heavy weight, put them on the deadlifts. But right here, just like you said, everyone needs to be good.
In the blue center screen, that is the male from CrossFit Omaha. He is finishing up his final set of cleans. They are doing 3. Once he is done, they're going to sprint across the arena. And there you see Omaha extending their lead on Quad City and Kilo. So we're going to see something mixing up a little here. CrossFit Omaha's female is now on the ropes. She's going to do 2 rope climbs followed with 3 cleans. That is CrossFit Springfield in lane 9. Now Quad City CrossFit is finishing up their reps here, so they're still fighting to move up, possibly into that number 1 slot. They're behind Kilo by 4 places. 515 is still on their second male. Quad City CrossFit female is now climbing up the rope. She'll be doing 2 ascents. Like I said, all they have to do is touch the top. It doesn't matter how much control they show on the way down, which is different than what we've seen, at least in the games from previous years.
The other thing that's really impressive is the team members that actually have done some practice here. You can see that it's only taken them about 2 pulls to get up to the top. If they're taking 4 or 5 pulls, then they aren't being a very efficient climber at all. See this nice shot here? You can actually see how many times they're having to pull their legs up. And what we saw right there, the female from CrossFit Omaha was actually not pulling her knees up as high as she should. She was just kind of leaning back, so when she stood up, she only got half a stand on that, which is not what she wanted.
That's a male athlete in lane 9 from CrossFit Springfield. They came into this in 6th place. They're battling it out with CrossFit Ice in St. Louis. They're only separated by 1 point along with Omaha. So there's a big battle there for that 4th place position. Omaha in 4th with 45, CrossFit Ice with 45, and Springfield in 46. So it's going to be interesting to see how this shakes out, at least for these top 4 or 5 positions. CrossFit Kilos female in lane 6. She's on the rope for her 2nd round, 2 climbs, 3 cleans. Once she is done, we'll come to our final 2 athletes, but it's CrossFit Omaha in the lead in lane 8.
So strong. Look at that. That was such a good clean right there. Arms are held straight the whole time. She's utilizing her hips, getting that nice second pull, pulling herself down underneath the bar. And what we're not seeing in this heat, what we saw in a lot of the other heats, were people doing a power clean and then having to do a front squat into it.
And Omaha keeps extending their lead. Their 2nd female is done. It'll now be up to these last 2 athletes. They have 3 rounds, 2 rope climbs like before, but now it is 4 squat cleans to finish this final set.
Again, you know what? It's always nice to be on top, and he is moving great right now. Let's see what he looks like when he hits the cleans. You know what? A lot of these athletes, you see them kind of jogging to the bar. There's really no sense of sprinting to that bar because you know that this right here is where the work is going to happen.
CrossFit Kilos slowly making their way up now. They're in lane 6. They are your overall leader coming into this.
Wow, he's strong right now. Not a whole lot of rest in between. Basically picking up the bar right when it stops bouncing. Nice, solid positioning the whole time. 1 round done. He's starting on a 2nd round. He looks good.
CrossFit Omaha first back to the ropes, followed closely by CrossFit Kilo. And we see some different rope climb techniques as far as how to get up and down these ropes. Judging by these 2 gentlemen, we have this strong, efficient guy in CrossFit Kilo, whereas in lane 8, CrossFit Omaha, he has very good rope climbs. It might save him some time on those cleans.
Absolutely. The other cool thing he was doing is he jumps up. That takes a lot of pulling out that you don't need to worry about later. Jump up, hang on there, get your feet nice and locked, just securing that rope, and then you use your hands just to kind of stand yourself up.
CrossFit Omaha, he's about to be 2 reps into his 2nd set of 4. CrossFit Kilo close behind them. We see the male from CrossFit St. Paul going touch and go. This is the first time we've seen that in this heat.
You know, it was interesting. He actually was no rep on that first one. Again, they get a little bit excited. They come up right away and lock out and go right back down. But the judge wants you to hold it, show that control.
CrossFit Omaha in lane 8. They are on their final round. He has 1 rope climb done. He will complete 1 more and then 4 squat cleans to finish it out. It seems like the athlete from CrossFit Kilo has fallen back. So Quad City CrossFit, their last male, is trying to make up that difference.
You know, this is a really tight race between these guys, and they see each other. They know where they are. They don't want to stop. They want to get on that bar and get moving. It's going to be interesting to see how fast he's able to make it through this last set of 3.
CrossFit Omaha, he's on his last set. He'll do 4 reps, sprint across the arena, and then it'll be his female's turn for her last set. It's all going to come down to the women here at Navy Pier. We're just past 11:30. The time to beat today so far was by CrossFit Bellator in 1846. The overall event record set by CDR Redlands with 15:14. And Omaha is on his last rep. He's got to sprint across the court, and that'll all be up to the female, Libby DiBiase from CrossFit Omaha. She has 2 rope climbs followed by 4 cleans. Now, you can't go too fast.
Absolutely, and that right there is what's happening. You can see that she's actually extending her legs, so she's not getting a real big stand when she does that. She's actually bend her legs up so she can actually stand up on the rope and use the whole length of her body rather than just the half length of her hips.
CrossFit Kilos female is now up the rope. They are only separated by 1. That's a mere 5, maybe 10 seconds. So this is going to be a very close race at the end here. CrossFit Kilos female is done. She will now move to the cleans. Omaha is done too. We've got to see how CrossFit Kilos last female will handle these weights. From what she's seen, she's going unbroken. She seems to handle them just fine.
Libby's looking solid though. Again, nice controlled movement, good form the whole time.
We said athletes can come out hot and they can come out a little too fast. So touch and go looks good in round 1, but then when we're resting in between on round 2, we'll have to see. Here are your top 2 teams, your top 2 females. They're both 1-1. CrossFit Kilo is a little bit more proficient on those rope climbs, and we saw her, she's pretty solid on the cleans. So CrossFit Omaha is going to have to work very hard here to keep that lead they just built for their last 5 athletes.
Yeah, Libby just fell behind, and that's going to hurt her. It looks like she's having some struggle on that rope climb. I don't know if she's going to be able to make up the time here because, wow, touch and go by Kilo. Impressive.
That is 3 reps for Kilo. She has 1 more. She has yet to put the bar down in 1 and make that 2 rounds. She will be coming up to her final round. 2 climbs, 4 cleans, and CrossFit Kilo has a chance to put their stamp on this workout. We're about 14 minutes in. The time to beat worldwide is 15:14. There is a chance if she can go unbroken and sprint across, they might get that time set by CDR Redlands.
She has a great rope climb. Look at her bending her knees and standing up so she gets so much length on her body and on that rope. And here we go.
We have 1 minute for the event record. CrossFit Kilo in lane 6, your overall leader. If she can go unbroken, she may take this record.
Perfect form on that. Perfect form. Wow, here we go. Look at that. You know right now that her whole team is yelling at her to stay on that bar. There's no way they want to keep her off that.
That is 3. She has 1 more to do. If she stands up, she'll have plenty of time to make it, and she's going to do it. If she gets across, they're at 14:45. The time to beat was 15:14. A CrossFit Kilo with an unofficial time of 14:46 takes this heat, take this event, and the event record.
Wow, that was so impressive. You know, when you have females on your team that you know can go unbroken when it comes to the weight exercises like that, that is always going to be a plus.
Libby DiBiase from CrossFit Omaha, she's finishing up her final set of cleans. They will take second in this event, but she's got to make it because close behind her is Quad City CrossFit. And 15:16 and 15:17, fantastic times for both teams. CrossFit St. Paul is also finished up, and 515. They have 1 girl left, so they were sitting in 3rd. They had a very comfortable lead. They were 21 points. Next closest was Omaha with 45. But Omaha, with that strong number 2 finish, solidified that 4th place position for them.
You know, I think they're real comfortable. Everyone in this heat has been really comfortable so far. We've had so many people finish, whereas in other heats we didn't have very many at all. So as long as they're finishing within that top group, they're going to be comfortable and safe for that.
We've been very spoiled with all the times we've seen in this heat. We almost had 3 or 4 nearly break that event record. We did have 1, CrossFit Kilo, first place coming in. They'll be first place going out, and they ended it with an event record. We still have a few teams left on the floor. CrossFit defined. CrossFit 515's final female is on. Coda CrossFit, and in lane 2, CrossFit 540.
You know, it's been a great weekend for all these athletes. It's been a long, fun time. A lot of the people that are on the team, they say that it's a lot more fun. Obviously, you want to win. Obviously, there's a lot of time and a lot of energy that these athletes put into training together, learning their techniques, learning their transitions. This is a nice event. I think it's a fun event. It's a little hard for us because there's so many things that are happening right now, but for the actual athletes, it's a really fun event because everyone's involved. There's a lot of high-fiving. You know, everyone gets to cheer you on the whole time. You get to run into your group. A lot of high-fives and hugs when you're done, and what a way to cap off a great weekend.
We have about 3 minutes left until the 20-minute cap. We're at that 17-minute mark, so all teams still have a chance to finish this event. We only saw a few finish it at all in the first 2 heats, and this could be a time where we see all teams do it. Team members looking on from that position, almost feeling helpless. That was lane 4, CrossFit Ice St. Louis. Their final female is on her cleans.
Nice.
And she will be finishing up. CrossFit Ice, unofficial time of 17:42. It doesn't look like it, but that was still better than the best time we've seen coming into this heat, just to show you how good these top teams were.
When you have a team that has no chinks in their armor, this is what it looks like, where everyone's finishing all the events on time, under the time limit. it's just impressive that like all these teams are so solid across the board with their strength, with their conditioning, with their skill work. But again, this is where we are at this level in the game, the sport of CrossFit. We're now all CrossFitters. We aren't gymnasts, we aren't lifters, we aren't sprinters, we are CrossFitters. And now it's the best of the best CrossFitters.
CrossFit 515 just finished up at around 18:15. The final females for CrossFit 540, Coda CrossFit and CrossFit Defined are still left to go. CrossFit St. Paul, they just finished at an unofficial time of 18:37. And these final three ladies are trying to finish up here, and that will be CrossFit 540. She comes into the cheers of her team, and that's what it's all about, is just seeing that it's not first, it's not last, it's just how much work did you do. Think of all the training these guys have put in to this point, knowing that it's capping it off in the right way.
You know that everyone, whether they were first, whether they were last, there's going to be a lot of celebration after this. I mean, there's a lot of hard work, like you were saying, that goes into this particular weekend. And this weekend is rough. I mean, it's an abuse on your body, so it's nice to have that celebration, you know, feel good about yourself, what you did, what you're able to perform with, and then start looking at next year.
Well, we have about 30 seconds left, so don't look to next year just yet. CrossFit Coda and CrossFit Defined finishing up. We got 30 seconds until that time cap. You know these ladies want to finish. She's close. She's got a few more reps to do. "15 seconds until that 20-minute cap." Look at that face of determination on that athlete from CrossFit Coda. She has one more clean. And she finishes up her second round, and that will do it. The final event for the teams at the 2013 North Central Regional capped off the weekend with an event record by CrossFit Kilo. They took first place in the event. They solidified their first place position overall. We're going to throw it down to Amanda with our heat winners and new event records, CrossFit Kilo.
Wow, you guys. First of all, I have to say congratulations. You're going to the games. And I have to ask, what is it about CrossFit Kilo that makes you guys such an intense, strong team and probably a strong box, I imagine?
We have an amazing support group. It's not just us six or even the alternates working out together. We have so many other people in our gym that compete with us and that push us really hard, and that they coach us and they bring that intensity, and we're just trying to make them proud.
There is an intensity about you guys and a seriousness about you guys when you're out here going through these workouts, right? Not the first time you've heard this. How do you respond to that sort of thing?
Yeah, we like to win. There's no exception but to win, and the way to win is to be serious, you know?
So it wasn't good enough for you guys to get second or third this weekend is what you're saying?
No.
So looking ahead to the games, do you have any goals in mind that you'd like to accomplish before you get to the games?
Gotta get stronger, tougher. I mean, I don't know. I'm looking at like one team, and it's Hackspack. They won last year, so, you know, that's what we're chasing.
You need to get stronger and tougher. How?
Up here. It's up here. It's all up here.
How about you guys? How do you want to get stronger and tougher?
I would say the same. It's all between the ears. It's a mental game, so.
CrossFit Kilo, congratulations.
Thank you.